Hey, everybody, and welcome to another night of Women's World of Fishing Monday Night Takeover. It has been a long week, it feels like. I don't know why. I think it's because I was on by myself. It seemed extra long. Um, but Angie, for you, I'm sure it seemed like a lot longer. What been
It's
up?
been a minute.
What have you been up to?
Oh man. Well, I got to go up to Minnesota and visit my family, which it's been a really long time since I've been up there, especially in the summertime. So that was a treat to be
I
up in
bet.
Minnesota without snow on the ground. So it's kind of a quick trip to, see as many family as I could while we were up there. Got to go see St. Croix rods and see how those are made in Park
Nice.
Falls, Wisconsin. So that was a really cool experience. And made a quick trip up to Duluth, and then spent some time with my brother and stuff. So it was a good, much needed trip for sure.
Nice.
So
Did you get to do any fishing?
no, unfortunately not. We had a day where that day we went to Duluth, we kind of had a choice to make, and we could have gone fishing. However, they at that time were going through a major drought, and so all the lakes were really low. It was almost hard to find places where you could actually launch, and then
Gotcha.
the water was so stagnant. The fishing just hadn't been great, so we decided it probably wasn't worth our time to do that. So unfortunately, no fishing on that trip, but it was good nonetheless. So now I'm in the process of getting all my rods and reels ready, and big classic coming up next month on Logan Martin. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm as prepared as possible for a change. So finish off
Well,
the year strong, hopefully.
well, you know how quickly, I mean, it comes up before you can turn around.
Yeah.
And I mean, this has been the longest break between the women's tournaments, and it comes up super fast. So I can understand why you're starting to get everything ready.
Mm-hmm.
It does go quick. I That sucks that you didn't get to do any fishing up there. Um
Yeah. A little
I
bit of a
thought that it
bummer.
was going to be kind of perfect.
Mhm.
So that sucks.
Yeah, they got some rain though. Kind of towards the end of the week while I was up there, it was very much needed. So I don't know. I haven't checked in to see what the conditions are lately, but hopefully it's improved for them. So
Yeah. Well, I while you were gone, I kind of went on with the series for the new to fishing kind of stuff, and I did an episode out at the pond where I kind of went over some stuff and kind of did the hands-on thing because it was just timing where StreamYard allowed the pre recorded stuff, and then I had a friend that I met on Twitter, Fishing Unhooked. I had her on, so a few different things were going on. It was different. It was cool. It was things that we hadn't done on here yet. So it was a change, but it was good changes, but happy to have you back, and we have something new tonight.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's always fun to change it up a little
It
bit.
it is, like, it's really exciting, she's definitely not new to fishing, but this is our first kayak angler that we
Mhm.
have had on, and talk about going straight for the gold. you know um I let's just go ahead and bring her on. There's
Let's
no
do it.
sense in talking about her before she comes on. But for those of you who don't know, in case you're just jumping on here and haven't seen the thumbnail, we have Katherine Fields tonight, who is a professional kayak angler, and I we're just gonna go ahead and bring her on as long as she's good with it. Are you good backstage? All righty. Okay, here she comes.
Hey,
Hey,
hey.
Hey
Catherine.
guys, how's it going? Oh,
It's good. How,
I had to get
how are you
the
doing?
triple screen. I've
Tired?
been, yeah, it's funny. I was really, oh, there we go. I was really, I was so used to driving around all the time, and I just took a couple weeks off to do some other things in my life. It's shocking. And
It
now
really
I'm
kind of is.
now I'm back in the saddle, and I mean it's funny how you get used to. I used to be like, oh, 1,000 miles, okay. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, 1,000 miles. What was I thinking? And but I'll get back there. I'll get back to being used to that, and
I don't know how you could ever get used to 1,000 miles.
I don't know. It just once you start doing it, it just sort of blends together. But 1,000's about my limit in a day for me because Google often say like it takes something like 12 or 14 hours, and that's like if you're not human.
Right.
so or you're not pulling a trailer or
Right.
those kind of
Right.
things. So but
Lots
I'm
of
feeling pretty good.
podcast listening, I imagine.
There's a lot of podcast listening, a lot of I've I need some new playlists for sure on music. I've listened to about everything I got, and then and definitely some audiobooks, and I do a lot of talking on the phone, and I take stops and do business at rest areas, and sometimes work on videos or take a break or something. So
Mhm.
you know,
So, where are
But
you tonight?
I'm in La Crosse,
So
Wisconsin.
you made it the whole way to
oh,
La Crosse. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I
Awesome.
was started out I sort of took baby steps. I didn't start my first day back in the saddle after my little break with the giant drive. So I drove like 6 hours yesterday, and then I think 8 or 9 today, something like that. So yeah, I was down south doing things, fishing, having fun, and all that. So
you're doing all this for your dream, though. So it's not like you're driving all this to go to work. It's for your
it
dream.
yes, ma'am. It sort of is my work at this point, but
It
Which is
it
awesome.
is,
yeah.
but I mean, like, I put in the write up, if it's you did something very scary, and I didn't even attempt to explain it in the write up.
Oh no. Well, okay. How do we want me to start on this one? I
Well,
don't
so
know.
I kind of wanted to start. So
Yeah.
you and I met in Nashville. You were passing through. This was over a year ago now,
I
and
know. That
I
was
was
so much fun, by the
it,
way,
it
Angie.
was it was a blast. I'm so glad you're able to stop by and see
I
the
drive I was
the doc.
driving from Ohio to like outside of Memphis, and then gosh, where was I going? Texas, I think, or
I
something
think
like that.
that sounds right. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I was just kind of reflecting back because that episode came out July 28th, 2020, and so you stopped by a
It
little
is
earlier.
really almost a year. It is almost
Yeah,
a year.
and I was just reflecting back about that conversation, and then how much has happened since then. It's insane to think
I know.
about.
When I look back at like Facebook memories, it's just it doesn't even it feels like 10 years and not like
Yeah.
a year. I feel like my life's been really accelerated.
Yeah.
Um, and you know, when I started this, um, gosh, I was trying to think about the last time I really was living in my home in Utah, and it was March, like around St. Patrick's Day when COVID broke out.
Mm.
And I went to live in St. George area in Utah because I was worried about my folks, and pretty much moved down to the southern Utah. And then when we had a couple tournaments that started up in, I think it was Kentucky Lake or something in the summer. Um, I did that, and then I drove like 36 hours or some crazy amount of hours back so I could go back to work.
Mhm.
And and at that time we were working remotely. So I drove all the way there, and I realized, why did I drive 36 hours to sit in my home office? Like, this doesn't make any sense. No one, I mean, I'm not seeing anyone. It's not, everything's telecommute. And that's, I was there for a few days and I just couldn't justify being there anymore. And I've already had like this feeling like I wanted to travel, I wanted to do more tournaments. And so I, packed up a bag and my fishing tackle and my boat, and I took off. And I really didn't have like a giant plan of how long I was going to be gone or where exactly I was going. I knew I had like a tournament a few weeks later, but I just really haven't stopped much since then. I'm still living out of the same bag. In fact, with the same clothes. Um, for the most part, the same t-shirts I've been wearing for like a
Anybody
year.
wants to donate clothing, shoot for Catherine Field.
But I've lost enough weight. Like I've gone down a couple sizes in shirts and pants and shorts and things. So a lot of stuff got donated in that. But some essentials are still the exact same clothes that I've had. Um, so if you wonder why I'm always wearing the same clothes, now you know, as I have been in the same bag of clothes for 14 or 15 months. And
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. But it's amazing amount of time and travel. And I think about just how much I've grown in that amount of time as far as fishing skills and different things in my life. And it's just, I don't have really good, it's hard to like wrap it all together, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's just been cool to watch all your videos and see this progression. And I'll never forget the excitement when you got that third place on Lake Champlain. It's like, yes,
Like, what
like,
happened there?
that's so
I
awesome,
was
though.
just having a lot of fun fishing, and
We all
I
knew it was coming. I mean, you were primed. You were ready. It was time.
I'm still primed. I'm still primed. There's a lot more coming, but
Agreed.
yeah, I feel like for a while there, it felt like I was just like I was turning a corner. I don't know how to explain it. Like I was able to put things together a little more quickly and had more confidence in what I'm doing. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I still, it doesn't seem real to me in a way because it's like, yeah, I did it, and I'm so proud of myself for what I was able to accomplish. Like it like feeds itself for me as far as um, my determination. Um, but it was also weird at the same time. I was telling a friend, like, I've been living out of my car and now my truck for so long. Like, I had never planned, like, what do you do when you get a giant check and you're living in your in your car? Like, I was like, where does this even go? I don't even know what to do with, like, can they make it like smaller? I don't,
Don't
you know.
don't show your license plate on camera. That's what you do. You don't
Ah.
show that.
Well, so I had this thing rolling around in the back of my truck, and I'm like at this boat ramp, and I'm like, some like, skittered out person's gonna like peer in the window and think that's a real thing that they could just take and cache somewhere. So I got like some hefty bags and put it in the bed of the truck up on some things, trying to protect it. I had it rolling around in there for like a month, and till I could finally get back down south, and now it's nailed up in the smack dab in the middle of my living room.
Nice. That's where it should be.
Yes, like I was gonna put it in the garage, but there really wasn't adequate wall space in there. So, and I didn't want to put it just like in a little tiny room. I wanted it like out there where I can just like stare at it and just fuel that fire for me. Like that's just the start for me, and I feel very enthusiastic about the directions I'm going, and I know that one day, I'm gonna accomplish the things I want to accomplish. It's just I got, it's a steep learning curve, especially on some of these. Like I just did the stuff that's like rivers. I have definite weaknesses. Rivers for sure. I'm scared of rapids.
I am too.
I don't know how to deal with them in a kayak, and so when I went to the Susquehanna, and I didn't really have like a coordination kind of thing for floats, or what that entails. And I got on one part of the river where there was like these rapids that went all the way across, and they were pretty swift, and it scared me. I had a power pole. I put my little power pole down, and I sat in the middle of the river next to these rapids with my power pole down for probably an hour, trying to get the courage up to go over them. And I couldn't do it. Like, I just like this. I'm like, if I go over them, how do I get back? Like,
Right.
how do I get back upstream? This doesn't seem like a really good idea. And I wasn't sure how to navigate it. I just have never learned. I've never had that kind of experience in a kayak on a river, and I didn't feel like trying to figure it out. I try, that way, and risk myself and my gear in a tournament like that. But so the other option, and I did a big gamble in that tournament, was basically pedal against the current for 9 hours, 2 days in a row. And work structure.
That sounds like a blast.
It was like being on a treadmill, and if I caught a fish, then I'd power pull down so I didn't get swept too far, because where I was, the current was a little stronger. And so if you got too far, you couldn't get back up. So I had like this no man's zone, no man's land that I couldn't go past. But
me and Angie are like, I'm going to turn that trolling motor up to 6.
I wish, yeah, but that tournament, during the tournament, you couldn't have any trolling motors. It's all human powered. So, so I just got
me
it.
and Angie don't have to deal with that.
I can kind of relate though, because this boat I'm fishing this year, the Key West with the T-top, there's been some bridges that I've gotten to where I'm like,
yeah,
I could fit if I go really fast. But do I want to take that chance? Probably not.
I was looking at the comments, by the way, and I just want to say thanks to everybody that's watching and that are cheering for me and proud of me, because that really helps me. It's scary to do this by yourself, and I don't have some elite fishing team that sits there and feeds me a bunch of information on spots and whatever. I go out and do it myself, and I live and die by my own choices and my own spots and my own work, and that really means a lot to me. The people that really back me and root me on. So thank you, everybody, for having that kind of faith in me and believing in me. And I hope that I can continue to make people proud and make a difference for other people just like me, other women just like me, that you don't have to be fishing your entire life. You can pick this up. I just started this a few years ago, and you can pick this up, and if you dedicate yourself and put in the work and just keep swinging, and have faith in yourself and trust the process that you can do this. It is scary, Barbara. but it's amazing when it works. So
And there's support. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
yeah,
It is a sisterhood. Like we I mean, when you're in the kayak, you're alone. Like I'm not,
yeah,
like you're on your own with that, but
yeah.
like you fish the kayak series and stuff like that, but you're like you touch people in different series, like I've never like physically met you,
Well, that's
but
gonna change one of these days,
oh, it's
Barbara.
totally, I mean, how many times seriously have you driven? I guarantee you've probably driven past my actual exit and never even knew it.
Yeah,
Truly.
probably. Like my
I guarantee you have, just based on your little like thing that you draw, and it's just like, what is she doing? Like, is
I
she sitting
know.
there with a crown?
I
I
don't know.
I
Like
really think that you've passed me before. And
probably.
so,
I've got at least 25,000 miles on the road this year so far going to
Wow.
tournaments.
well, I mean,
My poor vehicle.
I'm in Kentucky, and so
Okay, yes.
with you coming from the South, going up through like Illinois up to,
Mhm.
Wisconsin and all that. Yeah, you did. I ain't gonna take it personal,
All
but
right.
if you go
Next time tell me because I
if
need
you go
places
back
to stop,
south,
please.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're
So,
totally gonna fish together,
Yeah.
and
I would
I've
love
true.
to fish on a boat. Um,
I got a boat.
I'm gonna tell you, like, I've been approached to go fish, on in the boat stuff. I just don't feel that I'm there to do that. I'm enthusiastic to do that. And honestly, like I've only fished on a bass boat. I want to think
Oh,
once or
wow.
twice, once or twice. Uh, a friend had one. I fished from the back of that, and that was actually fun. I didn't mind where I fished from. I just like to catch things. So,
Well,
whatever.
it's good because if you come fish with me, if we stay where I am and we don't go somewhere else, you're coming for the company because you're not coming for the fishing. Just saying
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Mi- my friend Megan, she says come fish Lake Whitney. That's in Texas. So
Okay, so I fished really close to Lake Whitney on the Brazos River, like right below Lake Whitney. And that was really amazing. I went with my friends Carol and Cher down there, and Danny Wells, and fished that. And there's some amazing fish down there. Um, hey, and
but
I just want to say hey to Kathy and Jesse. Some people it doesn't have who their names are, so uh,
Yeah,
Kathy.
they have to allow StreamYard, I think, right, Barbara,
yeah,
to
they have to give StreamYard permission to use their
All right, all
thing.
right.
So, but I mean, obviously, you touch people who've never met you, and people know you, they know your story, like you inspire a lot of people, because you've been through a lot. I mean, and I mean, I hopefully you're okay with me saying that, but you're very
Yeah, it's
open with
fine.
the challenges that you've had, and you have pushed through it, and you have stayed on track, and you have done the things that you wanted to do and lived your dream. And so it's an inspiration, and people have your back. People are in this with you,
I
so
really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to do as far as sharing my experience because one of the things that in my life that I've experienced is that loneliness when you're dealing with difficulties on your own that are very hard for other people to relate to, or maybe you are scared to talk about or feel that there's some sort of stigma about what you're going through, that knowing that you are not by yourself and that the difficulties you're going through, there's other people and that God's with you in that. And it's, there's a lot of leaps of faith that go on in that, but I'm trying to share what I can openly as I go through it. I've gone through a tremendous amount of things this year, and when I when in January, I decided to quit my job and just go for this, and just do tournaments and try and be the best kayak bass angler I can. And I know I got like a long way to go. But I had plans, like I like budgeted out how much I was going to need, how much my health insurance, I mean, like how much my health insurance going to cost. And
You should have been
uh,
an accountant.
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty
That's
good with that
that's
stuff. And
awesome.
but I budgeted all that out, and I had made plans, like as far as I was gonna sell my house in Utah, and I was gonna get a rental, so I had some income. And 2 weeks later, life for me really turned upside down as far as my plans. Nothing has gone according to plan at all whatsoever, and so I'm constantly dealing with, honestly, the most ridiculous, crazy stuff in my life. And every time I think like this can't be any more ridiculous or worse or anything, it's like sometimes I feel like God's like, just hold my beer, right? Everybody, like I don't even want to say like it can't get any more difficult. But um, what I will say is that while that has been very terrifying and has really shaken me internally to my core, I've found a lot of strength in that, and I've found a lot of hope in that, and really understanding that, what I can control, what I can't control, not worrying about what other people think, what other people feel like their decisions or judgments about me. I don't care, because in the big scheme of things, what matters is that I'm trying to follow the path that I feel like God has before me, and I'm trying my best to live freely and open-hearted and with love in my heart, and just be out there. And people are either going to accept that or they're not going to accept that, and that's the only way to get through this kind of stuff. And nothing ever goes as planned when you take big risks like this. Life turns completely upside down in a heartbeat, and you learn what's really important. You learn, that loving people, forgiveness, being around joyous people in your life, and surrounding yourself with the positive and supporting people in your life, that really makes a big difference. So
It does.
yeah. And so I just would say to anybody that's going through any kind of struggle, just have hope and have faith, and just, even when it gets hard, just focus on, even if it's just the minute, focus on the present and where you're at, and just have hope that tomorrow, you're going to get through it, and things improve. And pretty soon you look down the street at where you were, and you're like, wow, I came like a really far distance. Like it's still, I can't believe how far I've come. And it does the same for fishing. And I think that's really helped me as far as what you run into out there, as far as trying to take on new water and new challenges. It's just like life. You got to break it down a little bit and go with it, and and know who you are, and have faith in what you're doing, and just keep focused on that.
Yeah, and not only were you going through all these challenges, but it was it's been one of the most challenging times in the world. At the
Yeah.
same time, I mean, you've got that going on and all the other crazy things going on that, might have been a catalyst for you. I'm sure it was, with the pandemic and everything, and your job and being able to work remote, and, allowing you to do more tournaments, and then kind of all snowballed,
Yeah.
into this. So, but yeah, it's crazy. Like I said earlier, just to look back on the past year. And one thing that I saw you were doing for a while, and you may still be doing this, but I thought was really cool, was just you were going out there and just focusing on one new technique and
Mm-hmm.
like really learning to master that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I want to start focusing on, because I'm one of these like, grab this rod, okay, but like a jack of all trades, master of none. But
Yeah.
it would be good to focus on just really honing in different techniques, and that's
Mm-hmm.
one of my goals for the rest of this year.
It's that has really helped me. But the other thing I would say is because I've done so many different bodies of water. I mean, I looked back. I think it was one, but right before I took a little break for like 10 days, like I think I had done 5 tournaments in 5 consecutive weekends or something, and
Mm,
across all kinds of bodies of water and across the country. And there's just times where one technique doesn't necessarily apply, and you have to be willing, at least for me, to risk trying to learn it a little bit. There's been tournaments where I'm learning the technique during the tournament, which they all say don't do, but when else am I going to do it?
right.
And just like I view like this tournament here in lacrosse. I mean, lacrosse is the Mississippi River is a huge fishery, and uh, I want to solve that puzzle and try and figure out how best to do it. I want to do really well, but it's all a process, and you got to come at it like, don't come at it with this high expectation that I'm going to do super awesome. I mean, you got to still have that hope with you and that drive within you, but you also have some realistic stuff. So you're not setting yourself up. So if you really do struggle, you're not having that lonely drive home where you are thinking about quitting fishing and throwing your rods in the dumpster and all those things. Like you got to be able to have some realistic goals and look like, say, like, I had a goal for this. This was my goal for this body of water, and I learned these different things, and maybe not necessarily what you had planned to learn, but you're going to learn something each time, and that
Mhm.
that adds to what you're going to do in the next tournament. So you can apply it in the next one. It's just a progression.
Mhm. Absolutely.
But that definitely, focusing on technique, I think keep that in mind, and maybe see what you can do to like vary it up, based on what's presented to you. And don't be afraid to be unconventional. Just because everybody says you got to fish a certain way doesn't mean you have to at all. Do your own thing and just do what you love.
That's how new techniques are made,
Hmm.
is because people are like, I wonder if I did this like this, I wonder what it would look like, you know, and
Yeah.
new things are developed,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I experimented on Champlain with some things, and it worked out really well for me. And that worked out. Sometimes not so much, but it's all a learning curve.
Right.
Jessie says she thinks about throwing my rods in all the time, but I had one fall in, and I was like, no, and had to walk around to find it. Yeah.
Careful what you wished for.
Yeah.
I always say I'm going to take up golf, but I don't actually.
It's a lot of fun though. But
But it bass fishing can be frustrating. Obviously, it's a very humbling sport, because it changes. The conditions change daily and, it hourly. And so it can get
mhm,
frustrating. But like you said, learn something every day.
mhm.
And
It-
that's going to change the course, and all of that knowledge goes with you. And uh, as many bodies of water as you fish throughout the year, I can't even I don't know why you'd be afraid to go to a boat. I mean,
I'm not afraid.
well, not
Uh,
afraid, but however you worded it, you were like, I don't know about going to a boat.
it's uh I just not quite there yet.
Is it because of the fishing or the actual running of the boat? Like safety type stuff.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Part
I'll
of it
I'll
is
teach
I
you.
need a garage. I need a garage for that fancy glitter boat first. Um, but it's, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, it's a whole nother logistic as far
Yeah.
as the equipment, and it's something I haven't done before. It's not necessarily anything that I'm scared of, and I honestly think that I could do just fine.
Hmm.
I just would be an adjustment, and Angie's like,
Come
Right.
on.
Yeah, you would be fine. I mean, serious. I
yeah,
mean, the LBAA, like, it's coming to an end this year. Like, but next year, why don't you just do it like at least one tournament with the LBAA as a
okay,
co-angler to
I'll do
see,
it. I'll
Yeah.
do it.
just to see.
As a co-angler, we don't
I do
we
it.
don't need you on the boater side yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're t-
I
Angie,
mean,
I don't want to fish against.
if you've got a boat, that would be great. But just to see, because this is the big thing that I hear about, like, going back and forth between the
Angie.
two, is about the hook set. And a lot of people say, like, if they go from the boat to the kayak, is, oh my gosh, I can't set a hook from that low. And then
Oh, well,
people
I have
that
no problem doing that. Shoot.
well, but then people going from the kayak to the boat are like, "Oh my god, I'm going to fall in the water and kill myself trying to set the hook." Because they're going from low to high,
Yeah.
and there's a balance factor.
Well, if it helps you, I have pretty much fallen in my kayak a lot already trying to set the hook. I'm sort of
Oh,
notorious.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have done some face plants with a big mask on that nobody ever sees, but I still held on to my rod and got the bass in the boat, so that's what matters. But
Never drop the rod.
never, it is never graceful. No.
No. If you fall in, hold the rod, the glasses, whatever, you can still tread water.
I
Don't
I
lose
don't
the
ever
rods.
want to. No, no. But no, I enjoy it. I enjoy fishing a lot, and I think at some point I want to try that. I just like challenges, and
We'll challenge you.
I want to see how far I can take this, and um yeah. So we'll see. I'll come do it. We'll
Yeah,
come
that'd
do
be
it.
awesome.
It
We'd
would
Yeah.
love to
be
have
it
you.
would be a blast.
I
I
mean,
mean,
the only thing holding me back is me. So it's just a matter of figuring it out. And Kathy Polly says Kate bloopers. Oh my lord,
wait, what? I must have missed.
Kate's
Kate's
bloopers. She's waiting
bloopers.
for a blooper reel. No, it's
That would
bad.
be funny.
It's bad enough half the time I have to edit stuff out because I'm singing some terrible song, and yeah,
Oh,
I
I
was
could
just like,
edit that.
You'll be like the Bill Dance of
because my
kayak fishing.
singing is terrible, Barbara. That's why I have horrible.
That's okay. We don't mind.
Do they
Yeah.
let you? So I've been I know a lot of people like to be really super quiet in their kayaks and things like that, but when I went on Champlain, I was playing music and singing and just having a really good time. And it was a lot. It was awesome to be like singing a song and catching fish, and just I just had such a good time. That was awesome.
I guess I thought that people in kayaks, I guess I just kind of thought that they would all be not loud, but kind of.
Stealthy.
That's the word I was just thinking.
Stealthy.
Stealthy.
But you know what? And maybe some people think I'm stupid for doing that. I don't know, but I don't care.
I was
I like
thinking,
Tequila Sunrise by the Eagles, and so do the bass. I'm just telling you, that's what happens. They
Ooh,
enjoy
I
it.
need to
They
try
enjoy
that.
it. Yeah.
I was thinking like having like ear pods in, listening to music or something. I would
So,
not want to like sit with myself with no mental stimulation at all
yeah.
for 8 hours. I would have to have something and
There's
playing in my head.
I talk pretty much all the time. I sing a lot. And someone said all my exes live in Texas. They obviously fished with me in Texas because I don't know what it is. Every time I'm in Texas, that dang song is in my head and I'm pretty much humming it. Out on the
Wow.
lakes, all I know it's bad. So
Yeah,
Maybe
I
Maybe tequila sunrise mimics that hydro wave that these pro anglers all have on their boats.
Right?
Gimmick.
Have you seen the thumper thing?
Uh-uh.
Where was I? I was in Texas, and they all had these like thumpers. I mean, maybe it's more striper fishermen than anything, but they had like this box that like makes these bang sounds, like thump, thump, thump,
Yeah.
and supposedly, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what it is, but I'm like that could be a bass beat. I mean, that could be.
Yeah.
I mean, the fish don't know what it
Huh.
is, but
Interesting.
Brian Delahunty, Wake the Giants. Yeah, I was listening to a song and singing Wake the Giants when I caught a giant, which was awesome.
Nice.
So,
Man, I wish I
yeah.
had a thing, but I don't have a thing. Everything turns into a nothing for me. I literally when I was doing the video for this show, the one for like by myself, I caught the smallest bass of my life. I am not kidding. I'm admitting it. It was the smallest bass of my life when I was filming the new to fishermen for the Women's World of
Yeah.
Fishing.
Yep.
I was like, that's embarrassing. I'm like giving tips to get women into fishing, and this is the smallest bass I have ever caught.
But you
And
caught something,
and
and that,
I'm not even kidding.
how
And
big
then
was
I was
it?
just kind of like, yeah, way to go, Barbara.
Was it
You
like
I
that?
honestly, I mean, this guy was probably like, I always do that. Barbara, where are you? It was probably I swear I think he was like this big. He was like he should not have even been off the bed yet. Like he was probably about 3 inches long.
Oh my lord.
I'm not even kidding. And I forget what I don't even remember what I got him on. I think it was it was on an inline spinner because I was having to like downsize and downsize and downsize. And I'm
Aren't
like, you
those
know what?
fun? I love throwing those. I love throwing inline spinners, but
Whenever I'm having to downsize, like, and I want something moving and they're chasing like bait fish and stuff like
mhm.
that, I'll downsize to an inline spinner.
Yeah.
But I mean, he hit it hard, and like I was just like still reeling it in. He hit by the bank, and he just went flying right off. And I'm like, is there really a fish on there?
Oh,
Ugh,
this a couple weeks ago I fished Gunnersville, and I had caught a really big bass out there, and I threw it back into the lily pads or similar, and I felt this nibble, and I set the hook, and that little bass that decided to give me the nibble must have flew about 6 feet through the air. I just launched that poor little thing, set the hook, and like
if
my video just caught like the little piece of this fish like just flying, and
now
just
if
just
I have a thing, that's my thing, and that's the only thing I've got. And if somebody took the time to go through all my videos, I don't even know how many fish you could catch that do that exact thing. Most of the time they stay on the hook, but sometimes they don't even stay on the hook. They're just like whoosh, and you'll hear me and my dad laughing, and we'll just be like, "Well, there goes another one," you know.
so I want to remember Angie. Was it Barbara that was mentioned? You mentioned to me the Flappy Daddy.
Yes.
Or
Flappy
That's it.
Flappy Dad or
is it Flappy Daddy or
Flappy Daddy.
it's
Yeah,
Flappy Daddy.
Hey,
is
I
it?
just I just went on Tackle Warehouse about 3 hours ago and ordered one of every color that they had, one
Oh my
pack.
gosh. Did you
Every
really?
color.
Every
You only
color.
need 3. Well, really 2.
Kind of fun. I didn't have any white ones. I thought that would be fun to play with. And they're out of stock on the purple ones, so I didn't get any of those. But
Purple?
I know I didn't know they made them in purple.
They don't.
Well,
You're
they do
crazy.
now. They
You're
do now.
crazy. You misread something.
I don't know. It's out of stock. They had a picture of it.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness, I can't even wait.
She's looking it up right
I
now.
know. For the white ones?
No, they didn't even have my favorite color on there, which was the one we used in Texas. That
Okay.
one wasn't on there. So
You
I'll
need to
have to
keep
get that
checking.
So where
or go somewhere else maybe.
so where is it you're fishing again, Angie, next? Or
So the classic is on Logan Martin in
okay.
Alabama.
Oh,
And
that'll be fun.
yeah, I'm excited. I'm prepping now and I'm going to go down there and kind of scope things out next week.
Nice.
So just kind of get a lay of the land and
Right
do a little
on.
fishing and whatnot. And then I'll be down there the full week to practice fish and all that before the tournament. So
Well, good luck.
thank you.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome.
And I was
You're
telling Barbara before, so G Man told me where to stay down there, and so he recommended this lakeside landing, I think it's called, RV park, because we have the truck camper. We'll be
Yeah.
bringing that down, and so we got a spot right on the water with a dock, so I'll be able to keep
There
my
you go.
boat in the water all week.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, it's gonna make it so easy, and we're like, it's maybe a 15-minute or less boat ride from there to the
Yeah.
blast off site. So
Yeah. That's really cool.
yeah, so
Well, good luck on doing that, man.
thank you.
I'm rooting for you guys, and
And
man,
there's no bridges on that lake I have to worry about. So this will be, I think, the first one that I'm not going to be limited by low
yeah,
bridges. So
yeah, that's
and
yeah. So
you'll get to meet Fancy Pants,
oh,
who
yeah, she'll be at the weigh-ins.
that's her her primary lake. She's a lady I met on Instagram,
yeah,
who she's brand new into fishing, and we started
she's pretty
talking back
gung
and forth.
ho.
She's
Yeah,
she's she's gonna be I think she's gonna fish the LBAA next year.
yeah.
I don't think she's gonna be able to stop herself.
I will say I'm really enthusiastic about the growth of women anglers in the last year or so. I just I feel like there's been sort of like a cert, there's some people that sort of suffer from a scarcity mindset, like there could only be so many women anglers or whatever, and I don't subscribe to that at all.
No.
I just think that there is so much room for everybody and a room for success for so many women, and it's just very it's just very heartwarming to see the new gals that are coming in and enthusiastic, whether it's just the bass boat tournaments or kayak tournaments. I just give kudos to them and want to support them and however they want to go after that, because I just think that's just a wonderful thing to see that enthusiasm and growth, and I hope that we can do more to really lift each other up in that,
Hmm.
and for those that have that really scarcity mindset, like
Right.
this is there's a bigger picture here than just you know you and your thing. There's women fishing is such a growth area for us, and I think that the more that we can lift each other up and support each other in our dreams and what we want to do, the better off we all are in that. So
Well, and one of the things too, and I think that I mean, I would have never thought about it until I, had when me and Angie actually started talking about it and I went out and started like doing it. I would have never thought that like was I would actually be like fishing for female anglers, but there is so many
mhm,
female lady anglers that are out there,
mhm,
like Megan, who's fishing unhooked, and then Fancy Pants, um, you know, that that have it, that want it, that have
mhm.
the same mindset as we do, but
Yeah,
they
that
never
fire.
knew that this things that we're into, they never knew that it was out there.
Mhm.
They never knew that there were, they never knew where their people were. You know what
Right,
I mean? Like,
right.
and that there were opportunities out there, like like there are.
Mhm,
And so, like, going out and like seeking them and spreading the word,
Hmm.
I think that's one of the best things that we can do is to, you know, really put the word out there and encourage them. And that's one of the reasons that your story is so great, because like you went from, hey, I'm new, to I want to fish. I think
Yeah,
I'll quit my job.
I think I'm doing this.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm just going to drive all over the country and fish.
Hmm.
Like you
I think I'm just gonna try and kick some ass.
Yeah.
yeah, like
And
I mean, like very few people have the guts to do that, and I'm a huge risk take. Well, I used to be a huge risk taker, and like I would love to do something like that. I applaud you.
thanks.
Most people they're gonna dream about it, and you know but the more women that we can educate about the opportunities that are out there, you
But the
don't have
opportunity is out there for whatever you want to do, whether
right.
it's a boat, whether it's Bassmaster boat, whether it's the LBA, it was
Watching
late.
Gaston Gal catch the
Yeah, I
smallest
mean,
bass of her life,
but I mean, that is really, that was one of the hardest transitions for me, was to take that leap because, for me, the reality was, for myself, just my own medical issues. Like I came to realize, like, I'm 51. I'm gonna go up physically against people in their 20s and 30s. I got some physical challenges. When am I gonna do it? How long am I gonna wait? Am I gonna wait till I'm 65? Am I gonna wait till I'm like 68? Can I even do it? Can I do this when I'm, 70? I don't know. And there's no guarantee that if I wait till some magic number, magic date, that I could even do it then. I can't guarantee that I could do what I'm doing tomorrow. There's no guarantee in that. And that's why I just go for today. And I'm going to put it on the line and I'm going to go for it. And it's going to be what it's going to be. And it's most of the time a giant hot mess and it's crazy. But you got to just try and roll with that and just know that you're going to be okay and you're going to get through it. And don't give hope in that. Don't give up hope in that. And, but I've got a lot of really good friends who support me, who know some of the things that I go through and are there and have my back nonstop. And I really am very blessed to have that kind of support in my life. And I guess what I want to say is, I want to be there and help other ladies. And, so I've been trying as I can to promote other women on my social page and highlight them and lift them up, because I feel like the focus becomes so focused on oneself in social media, promotion of oneself, promotion of only my sponsors or what I win, what I do. Um, we can do better and really be more spokesmen for women as a whole by sharing the message for each other and lifting each other up. And I'm just not going to be that person that, I mean, life's too short for that kind of stuff, really. And I can't subscribe to that. I can't subscribe to that cult of personality anymore. And I just feel we can be so much better and we can lift each other up and achieve more. And for us to really break through this industry and break through the ranks, we have to be way supportive of each other and not a bunch of catty little clicky high school girls with all their things that happen with women's women's things. Like, come on, ladies, like we can do way better together than we can tearing each other down and that kind of stuff.
We
So,
can't be mean girls.
and there's a lot of that goes on at a
See,
higher level. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of
see,
that going on, and it's disappointing as heck. And that's that scarcity mentality, that it can only be me. There can only be one woman at the top. There can only be that kind of stuff. Like, it's BS. It's BS.
Mhm.
It's self-defeating to yourself, but it's defeating to all the other women out there. And
I guess I'm just not cool enough to know the
oh, I'm
to know
I'm not in the cool kids club, so
the
don't ask me
inners
about
of
that.
that yet.
I don't know,
So,
but I'm just saying
which is good.
overall with there there's just so much unnecessary
It's better.
drama.
I mean, and
It's
I get it.
like a play, you know.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like, just the women are very different than men. I
Yes.
mean, they just handle things so much differently. And like I fish with my dad all the time.
Mhm.
And we'll talk about different things and I'll just be like, "Oh, dad, it's just a woman thing." Like if you were to have this conversation with mom or anybody else, like she would get it just because it's a woman thing, you
It
know.
is.
And
And what the heck, ladies? What are you
right,
doing? What are you even doing? Like,
but
think about it. It's so
but
self-defeating.
and it is. And like,
Ah,
and
fired up.
there are certain things, like women are very emotional driven,
Yes.
you know, and it's hard to take that out. And I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I don't
No,
know,
but just overall in fishing,
but
like, y- we can do so much more
right.
to be
And
supportive of each other and women out there. Like, it's
right.
like,
And everybody wants to be, you know, the winner, like everybody wants to do the best, but you can achieve to be the best and still cheer on your fellow
yes,
female
yeah,
anglers.
yeah.
Like, I love talking trash, but I'm
Well,
super competitive too.
and that's fine. That's
R-
totally fine. But trash talking and being competitive. I mean, that's part of the game.
Right.
But there,
But
but it's
when
it's
someone's
so
being negative.
exactly, and it's so
And
defeating and
mhm,
intimidating to other women that want to get in the sport and then want to try out. Like, why would when you see that? Why would you
bingo.
want to even get in that? And I just think we can be so much better and more supportive and more like, get your ego out of it.
Yeah.
It's a bigger picture than all of us. And there's younger generations up there who now can, they have college teams and all this stuff that I had no clue even existed, you
Mhm.
know, but women can do, you can do anything you want. And you know, don't let anybody define you. Like, you define you, and and just be freaking nice and supportive of people. Like, help,
Exactly.
be a good sportsman. Cheer on your opponents. Cheer on other women, because other gals do well. It's good for all of us. It's good
It
for all of
it
us.
is. And and be approachable and
Mhm.
like just humble, like so that you you can be that, whether you are the top dog or last place person.
Yeah,
you
and
know
you know what? Like, we've all been there. You know how many times I've like been in tournaments where I didn't catch a dang fish the whole time,
Mhm.
you
We've
know,
all had tournaments like
or I catch the wrong species the entire time. But there was a tournament that I did this year at Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and I was so touched. Like, I was happy for how I did. I didn't like do exceedingly well, but for me, I was happy with where I got. But what mattered to me more was when I got off the water, there was a woman there with her daughter, and they had waited for me at the boat ramp with a like a welcome sign to
Oh,
cheer me on that they had all hand drawn. And the little girl wanted to do bass tournaments, and that meant more to me that they took the time out of their day to make me a sign and be there and talk to me and invite me to come stay with them and talk about her tournaments and stuff. That touched me, and it meant more to me than a lot of things this year, because it's that kind of connection that we make with each other that actually means something, and makes a lasting difference in people's lives. And I just would like to see us do more of that with each other. Kinder, gentler, more loving time out on the water, you know.
And I think we
But there's
can.
my soapbox.
yeah.
I
Well,
think we can, and I think we're starting to,
Mhm.
because
for sure.
we're all starting to
See
get
how
it.
nasty it is. And I almost feel like COVID, in a way, contributed a lot to sort of. I feel like a lot of the community has changed a little bit, and maybe it's just people being isolated and not having that one-on-one, interaction with each other to really see the impact that we can have for positive or negative. Like, it's so easy when you're just behind a keyboard all the time, or you don't have
Mm,
that kind of interaction. So hopefully things will improve in that.
We've
absolutely.
lost our social skills.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kate,
No.
so what do you got coming up for the rest of the year to end out 2021? I'm sure a lot more tournaments, a lot more
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah, but I mean, we're coming down sort of the end of the season a lot.
Yeah.
I've got uh I've got the Hobie BOS on lacrosse here. I've got um another Hobie in September on Pickwick. I'm
Okay.
doing a Spro tournament on Gunnersville.
That would be fun.
I've got the East Texas Kayak Championship. I got the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship. I've got the Tournament of Champions on Lake Eufaula.
He's almost done.
Uh, almost done.
We're
Yeah.
wrapping up the season. I've got
What?
13 left.
13 left and some championships. No, but I am really focused on learning as much as I can, and fishing as hard as I can, and I'm going out. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try and kick some butt as much as I can, and then next year I'm gonna do it again, but
There you
harder,
go.
but
All right.
harder.
I love it.
So, yeah,
Very cool.
And you're going to fish at least one LBA
at least one.
tournament.
I
That's
will.
right.
I will. I might
And,
do some other ones too. So we'll
That would be
see.
awesome.
well, wait a
Yeah.
minute. If she's going to be a co-angler,
Just not a boater yet.
I'm thinking she might be competing against me.
Oh, it's a big learning curve, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna take you up on that challenge though. I like new things. So
It'd be great.
we'll see how that goes. But life's too short. Why not?
You might end
And
Exactly.
up fishing the whole season. Never know.
I got lots of free time.
Yeah.
So
It's only
we'll
what
see how it goes.
three
Barbara's,
tournaments.
Barbara's like, end the interview. We're out of here.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for taking some time out of your evening to be
I
on.
loved it. And
Super
thank you,
fun.
everybody that tuned in and chatted with me. And I appreciate you guys. And, don't give up. Just keep positive, and just don't give up, and keep focusing on your dreams. So,
Yeah. Thanks for
100%.
taking time out. I know you're probably exhausted. Be safe.
Good luck in
Seriously.
lacrosse. Have fun. I love
I
the
got
Mississippi
I got
River.
some. I found my
Nice.
Wisconsin beer.
No wonder
So-
you weren't drinking anything on. You're like, am I supposed to be drinking on camera? Hey, our
Oh, shoot.
show is very
Oh.
informal, obviously.
I appreciate it.
We don't have any rules.
Yeah.
But good
Yeah.
luck, Kate,
Thanks,
and
guys.
keep us in the loop. We're going to be watching, cheering you on,
Thank you.
and just keep doing it, girl.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I am. I'm
Yeah.
not
know you will.
stopping.
Go
I'm
get
not
it.
stopping. And yeah, I define me. So
That's
see you
right.
guys
There
out
you
on
go.
the water.
Yeah.
Right. All
All
right.
right.
Have a good night, guys.
Good
Thanks,
night,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.